Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be concentrating on the interior roof. So I've been waiting quite a while to do this. I've been looking at loads of different videos, pictures, websites and everything else to try and decide what I wanted to do. I didn't just want to go ahead with like a standard carpeted roof because it's been done before, and I just wanted something a little bit nicer that would complement the furniture in the vehicle. So I've decided what I want. We're going to jump straight in. I'm going to show you what I've bought so far, the tools I'm going to need to do this job, and hopefully it won't be too difficult and it'll look lovely when it's done. So let's get straight into it. Let's do it. So this is the stuff I'll be using today. It's called, well, I mean, there's a few names for this, but I came across something called acoustic wall paneling. A lot of people are putting it in their campers lately, I've noticed. Also, obviously, it wasn't meant for that. It was meant for your house. But what it is, it's slats of wood sitting on a type of soft cushioned base. So that base there is like quite a thick bit of cushion that those slats sit on, and when they're in place they look really nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a measure up, cut it to size and screw it into that plywood that I've just showed you. So let's have a measure up first and see where we go from there. Right guys, just a quick update now. So I've cut the panel to length, and obviously I had the cupboard there as well, so I had to measure up and cut that as well, which wasn't a problem at all. I'm using a jigsaw with a fine blade, so it's very easy to cut. I'm using these type of screws, so they're black in colour obviously, so they camouflage, you can't see them, and where the material is quite thick they actually sink into the material, so you really can't see them. This box I bought for like £6 off Amazon, and they come in various sizes and whatnot. So that's the screws I'm using to hold it up. So very easy to apply. Naturally it's just the measurements when you're cutting. As I said earlier, I'm doing it with the furniture in place. If you was doing this on a new build, you wouldn't have anything there. So what I've had to do, what I've had to compensate for, because this unit was in place, I've had to literally undo it a bit, because these slats are quite thick, it was hitting the top of the cupboard. So I've actually put a very small, very similar to this actually, very similar size to the slats here, right across, just to lower it down, just so I can get that clearance, so it shuts nice, really nice. Obviously you can see here it's hitting here, and that's because I haven't fully screwed it up properly yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the other panel, get that in place, and then totally secure it so it doesn't move about and it's fully clearing the cupboards. Another top tip I would say, so when you're dealing with this kind of stuff, this material, this black material that the slats are actually stapled to, the staples are about 5 to 6 inches apart. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a little indentation in there. So what I've done, because obviously this is where the strength is, this is where the slats are stapled to, so I've marked everywhere where there's staples. So when you're putting in your screws to hold it up, try and do it in line with where the staples are, for the simple reason is, if you do it in between the staples, it won't necessarily pull the wood up to where you want it to be, so it might sag a bit. So it's worth marking them out, because you can clearly see them, and putting the screws in line to where the staples are, and then you're going to get a really nice tight finish, and it's going to look good, because this roof as well is a little bit curved. On these VWs they're a little bit curved, so it looks really nice when if it's all nice and tight. So I'm going to cut the other panel now. Obviously I've got the cupboard there, and I need a little bit to go into there, so I'm going to have a little measure up, and also where the sliding door is here, we're going to have to do a bit of cutting here so it's all nice. So I'll measure up, cut it, and we'll get the second one on. Right, so we've got the second panel on now. You can't even see where the join is. So what it does with these, the way they're made, is they have a little extra black bit on the end, which then just slots into the adjoining panel, and it's the perfect width, so you won't be able to see where it is. So that was quite easy. We cut it to length, slot it in, and then we just screwed it in like we did with the other one. So that's the bulk of the panels done. That's the main area, and that only consisted of 2 panels. There's what I have to do now to complete. I've got a little bit on the back right there which I've got to trim off because it's a little bit too long. It doesn't actually tuck in properly, so that needs to be cut. And then I've got a little section here where the cupboards are, so again I've got plenty of extra left, so I can just cut a little section, fit that in there. We've got to do that. And when I've got it all secure and all the screws are in place, and it's I mean, it's quite secure now as it is, but once I do that, then we're going to move on to the lighting. And in regards to the lighting, what I have is this kind of lighting. So it's LED, obviously, but it's not the traditional LED. So when this lights up, it literally lights up as a one whole light, so to speak. You don't see those little LEDs in it individual lights up. So it's like a nice white beam of light, and it's like a warm white. It's not a bright white. So I've seen these in other vans before. I was at the car show, the van camping and caravan show in Birmingham, and they had a lot of this inside this kind of roofing that I'm doing. So and also with this, it's dimmable as well, so they should fit nicely in the slots, and it's very bendable, so you can shape it any way you want. So that's the plan. I'm not sure what route I'm going to take or how I'm going to do it, but there is 5 meters of that lighting, so I'm going to finish up tidying this up and putting the screws in and adding the little extra bits, and then we'll move on to the lighting. But yeah, so far so good. So I've made my template for that little box section up there, right in that corner there. It fits nice and snugly, so I know now that when I put that onto the paneling, mark it out and cut its size, that should fit in nice. We can screw it in place and I'm not going to have any issues. So always worth making a template in little places that are hard to reach or hard to measure, and because if you make a mistake on that, you can correct it. Obviously if you cut into the wood, you can't. So yeah, I'd advise doing that all the time. Okay, so I'm putting in the lights now. These LED strips, now they come with little plastic clips which I've already put in place. They're like them little things there, so they just basically, you push your LED lights into them. So you get 10 clips. I've put them where I think I want the lights to be. I'm not entirely sure at the moment, but yeah, I'm going to start pushing these in place now, and see if I like where I've actually positioned them, because my main issue with these lights is this. I've got this little power button here, and depending on where the light strip finishes is where this is going to have to be placed. Ideally I wanted it somewhere where it's easy accessible, maybe on the side here. Not sure if I'm going to be able to do that, but I'm going to put these up and just see what it looks like now, and we'll go from there. So guys, all done. I'm really happy with this project. Wasn't an expensive project. It cost me, I think the panels were like £90 each from B&Q. The lights I bought from Amazon, they were £35. So it's an easy, cheap project. It's took me a couple of days. Other than that, all you'll need is the black screws to hold these panels in place, and wiring, literally alive in an earth, and you're done. So if you're thinking of doing a job like this, it's very easy, it's cheap, and it looks absolutely amazing. It's just really now finished off this fan, and it just looks so modern as well. Another touch I had also, I will say, is if I could just bring you down to here. I had a remote. Let's just get this off. I've got a little heater because it's absolutely freezing. But I've got this. Where are we? Yeah. So see this control here. This was for my little round lights that you get in the camper vans. The little ones you can get off eBay. They're like 30 quid or something like that. I used the wiring off this to literally wire up these LED lights, and as you can see, you can actually dim the lights. You can actually drop it by 50%, 25%, and even if you wanted to go into like the different modes and all that. What's the mode? Let's see, mode. So you know, you can have strobe effect and things like that. So yeah, right, let's stop that. So my point is, basically, the little circular lights that you get on camper vans that most people have, and you might even have them already fitted. If you're thinking of doing something like this, all that wiring, the remote receiver and all that, it works on these LED lights. So if you're thinking of having a change up, use all the stuff that came with the little round lights, because it works. So yeah, but on that note, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. See you later.